Hi, I'm going to quickly go over all the Excel related steps on the homework number 1. So in order to complete this, you need to download crime RXLSX data from the Blackboard. So with that ready, we can dive right in. So let's, for example, take a look at this first. Assuming the column expenditure year as a series X, okay, series X, please answer the following question. Using I as index, please use the summation symbol to express the series total. If you have no clue on this question, please stop. Okay, please stop and go back and watch my lecture again. This is very, very important in this class. At least get understanding on this simple one. Okay, I as an index, please use the summation symbol to express the series total. So what I'm going to do here in Word, go to Insert, you have equation here, okay? Equation here. You click that, it'll start to allow you to enter some equation. So once you're here, highlighted area, you go take a look at the Design tab. There are many different things you can use. Here, I'd like to go with large operator. You see, this one we talk about, simplified version. This one is on the bottom and the top, looking good. So I started from 1. I think last one is actually 47, right? So total we have 47 here, and the series total. Series basically as xi. Okay, so this kind of tells you the series total for the expenditure year 0. For this, what is the summation xi from 1 all the way to 35? So meaning that you need to get the summation for the first value all the way to 35th value. So the easier way to do that is, I mean, here we don't have index I here, okay? So if doing this can help you, you can quickly do 1, 2, and then highlight both and double click this green dot right here. I don't know if you can see that clearly. Double click, it will help you fast fill the rest of the series. As you can see, the last I value is 47. So if you go back to the question itself, it's asking sum from the first element all the way to 35th element. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to need some space here, okay? So I'm going to insert for the question 2. The answer is sum of number 1 all the way to 35. Yes. Okay, so that'll be it. You can just simply put your answer here, okay? And next one here is xi squared, right? Xi squared. So you basically, what you need to do is you need to square whatever value of x first, and then do the summation. So yeah, I think this is not particularly difficult if you understand what that means. Just going to say x squared. So basically square is highlight the value, and then this is square symbol, okay? Hat is a square symbol. And then do this, you double click, voila. So the answer for the question number 3 is going to be sum. But since all we need is everything under the H column, so we can do quickly H to H. Okay? You cannot use that if something in this column is not something you want as a number, something you don't want. The label is fine, but the value, all the numbers, has to be values of all the elements that you want. So with that, that's completion of question number 3. Okay? So number 5. To be able to complete question number 5, you sort of need to understand how to use the pivot table. So here I'm summarizing the crime rate rating. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back. I'm going to get rid of these two. Okay? Get rid of these two. and then I will click anywhere within the data, click anywhere within the data. I'll do Control A. That will help me highlight every part of this particular data set. Okay, so given that all the data are right next to each other, this is a very convenient way of highlighting everything. With that, go to Insert, and click the pivot table. This will be highlight the range automatically, so just click OK. Okay, so here you see the pivot table interface. You see a lot of list of variables here. Okay, some of them are visible, some of them are not visible, especially those with a tens, something that's been hidden by me so that it doesn't overcomplicate you. Let's just focus on the question. It's just crime rate rating, right? So we'd like to get a frequency of extreme high, frequency of high, mid, and low, and so forth. So how do you do that? We're going to drop this to the row. Okay? And then we're going to drop that again here. Okay? So this is almost done. Okay? But if you pay closer attention, the rank here is extreme high, mid, low. However, this here, mid, is the last one. So you need to adjust that by highlighting it and drag the frame of the highlight. Okay, in that way, it will be sorted manually in the way we want. Okay, you can rename it frequency. Okay, here is a crime rating. We actually need one more information there. Here is the relative frequency. This is expressed in terms of proportion. Okay, 12 out of 47, 12 out of 47, and so forth. So that is actually also very convenient or easy to do here. Let me drop that again. Okay, drop that again. And here, I'd like to click the triangle, go to the field setting. I'd like to show the value as the percent of the grand total. Okay, percent of grand total. You just click OK. Voila. So here you can just rename it as relative frequency. When you copy it, paste it back to Word, the one easier way that won't mess up the formatting is to paste it. Okay? You go back, copy, paste it as a picture. Okay, paste it as a picture. In that way, as long as the original contents are fine with you, it won't mess up the formatting thing as you paste it back to the Word. Okay, so I expect you to do the same for the rest of the charts. That will only make you work much easier. With this, it's a pie chart. Because you have this ready, plotting a pie chart will be very easy. Just highlight here, crime rate rating, frequency, not the grand total. Okay, and then go Insert. This is going to be the pie chart, right? Boom. So you have it. You can paste it back. You need to change the pie chart wording. So to do so, just double click. Pie chart. So that will do. Okay, bring it back underneath here. From next chart, I'm not going to paste it back. Okay, so to save your time. For this one is called a bar chart, right? This is called, it's not BART, I'm sorry for the typo. It's going to be bar chart. So it's the same range, same selection range, right? Same selection range, same insert tab. Here, you click it. So here we can see the column here, okay? Column. There's nothing you can, all these choices will give you 2 series, but we just want 1 series. The way you can do is get rid of relative frequency. Remove field. So in doing so, only this field will remain. I don't particularly like those grid, so we can just highlight it, right? Highlight those, highlight it by click it, and then delete. It will get deleted. So this is going to be the bar chart. You can change the label in the way you need it to. Okay, and I think that will be it for the crime rate rating column. Let's move on to next summary, which is crime rate column. Okay, we'll do the same frequency. We'll do the same relative frequency. Okay, I hope you still remember we did that by using the pivot table. So I'm just gonna get rid of this because I kind of don't need it anymore. Instead of crime rating, I'm going to drop my crime rate here. Okay, as you can see that all the distinct value are listed here. And then you can do count again. This is showing the sum. This is not what we want. We want the count. Okay, we want the count. Okay, so looks like all 47 is here, right? But we'd like to group some of the values so that it's actually nicer and easier to present in this format. So the way you can do that is go back here, right-click this column, right-click the crime rate rating, and here's a grouping, right? And I'd like to group it by 20. So it automatically gives you the starting value and ending value. It depends on the group width, the length of the group you're defining. It will give you different number of outcomes, but let's stick with a 20 for now. Okay, so I think this is exactly the same what I pasted here. Let me do it one more time because we need to show them in terms of the relative frequency. So here, grand total percentage here. Okay, so I'm going to name it as the frequency. I'm going to name it as relative frequency. Okay, I think the next assignment, next question, is to letting you plot the histogram. Something look like a bar chart, but there are fundamental difference between bar chart and histogram. Here, I'm just highlighting the frequency here. Insert. Boom. Let's do the same. Remember, we also need to get rid of this relative frequency field so that it looks clean like this. So this is bar chart. So unfortunately, built-in charting feature does not include the histogram. We need to do a workaround here. Okay, so the workaround here is just to click any pillar here, just click any bar here, and you right-click it. You right-click it, right-click it, and you do sorry for the pause. You clicked Format Data Series here. Okay, as you can see here, you see the gap adjusting feature. So currently gap is like a 200%. So I'd like to reduce this gap by 0 so that there's no gap left in between. This is very important, okay? Whether the gap or no gap is important because of certain reason I'd like to explain in the next class. So this is your histogram. And then the last pair is the scatter plot. In the scatter plot, we can actually summarize two different variables at the same time. So far, up until here, we're only summarizing one variable at a time. But here, we can summarize, two variables in the same dimension. So it's summarizing crime rate and education. I'll do that. I think for that one, we don't really need to use the pivot table. Crime rate. Let's click here, okay, because we're highlighting two variables to get started. Here, and press down your control key and education. In that way, you are able to highlight two non-continuous region at the same time. Okay, Control E. One more time. Click here, Control E. So insert here. This one is a scatter plot. Okay, scatter plot. Oops, it doesn't look like the one I'm showing. What I have shown to you. What I have shown to you. So if you observe it closely, my y-axis starts with 9.5. It's starting from 0, meaning that a lot of space here are meaningless, and you kind of have to adjust that a little bit. So the graphing is an iterative process that is actually very time consuming. Okay, sometimes if you don't do the graphing properly, you're doing disservice to your reader. So to fix that, we're gonna adjust the lower bound of y-axis. You just click here first, left-hand click here first. Okay, left-hand click to the value of y-axis, and then after this is highlighted, and then you do right-click, and then you have the format axis. Okay, you see that here? The lower bound or minimum bound, you can adjust it to maybe 9.5, like I did. In that way, a lot of meaningless space has been reduced. Here, this is about the x-axis. The same way I would do, I'll let it start from maybe 40. Okay? And if you don't like empty space here, you can also let it stop at 175 or something like that. Also like me, if you don't like the background, the grid, you can just get rid of them. Okay? How to adjust the marker? I think you need to click the marker first. Okay? Click the marker first and then go to this bucket. And here is marker option. And marker option. Here is option to adjust the size of the marker. Okay? Looks much similar to mine. Chubby dots here. Okay, mine is just taller, right? You can just stretch it if you want. Okay, change the title. Here I have added the title for X and Y axis. How did I do that? I think you can do that here. Click it, axis title, right? Axis title, and if it didn't automatically recognize it, I change it manually to education, and here to what? I forgot what it is. Crime rating. Okay, so that completes the first piece. You can copy this part first back into the Word. You don't have to start again with this one. We're just building something on top of the previous outcome. Just adding a trend line here. So how do you do that? Of course, here is a lot of addition options. You're adding a lot of cool stuff here. Just click that and add a trend line here. Okay, you see the cool trend line show up here. And mine also has equation here. So for that one, just highlight and right click, format trend line, and so you will see this option showing up on your screen. Just click the display equation on chart. So this equation is showing the mathematical relations between the crime rating and education, meaning one value of increase in crime rating, okay, increases 0.0061 value increase in Y. You don't have to know the details. That's basically what it says. It looks like more crime, more education, right? I mean, just by looking at it, visually glancing at it, I mean, it almost like it's telling us more crime rating and more education, or more education may lead to the crime rating. But that's not the way you should interpret this data, okay? Because I will show you how to interpret properly on the relationship between these two pairs. Okay, I think that will conclude your homework. Yeah, just let me know if you have further questions. Thank you. It's 20 minutes. Okay. Thank you. See you next Tuesday-ish. Tuesday, yeah.